And we are live here. We are going now. Seriously Loco live watch along of the Derby del Camino Real. And maybe I'll sort things out. I'm Phil Baki. Maybe I'll sort things out speaking wise before the actual match starts. But all that being said, welcome everybody to the live watch along Seriously Loco. I will have Mika joining me shortly. She's just sorting out herself before she joins the stream, but she will be on as well. Thank you guys for joining. Obviously you're finding us on Twitch, YouTube, or right on Twitter. We're looking forward to a tough Derby match, but against New Mexico United, which we're going to preview here. You're here for the pre-match. Obviously, we're waiting for the stream to get going and everything as it gets closer to kickoff. But welcome. If you're finding us for the first time, Seriously Loco is on every major podcast platform. We did a preview of the Derby, which obviously there is a lot of context around this one. Locomotive trying to get on track. Meanwhile, we have New Mexico United, who have had a couple of mixed performances, but are more or less up and running. And we've got Mika here to join us to talk about the pre-match. Mika, how we doing?
Up? Good, man. How are you?
Doing well. It's just doing a little intro here. Got some admin out of the way, so you're just in time.
All right.
Talk about the actual match, but obviously Derby. Me and Christian previewed it midweek. But wanted to get your thoughts, especially now that you've seen Locomotive's 11, which has a couple of key returns and one key visa paperwork clearance.
Yes. Shout out to, I don't know, whichever federal agency was handling that to get Nevares able to play in this game because it is league rules that you have to have your visa. So that's good. I hope that means that's the same deal for the other Juarez loanees. But yeah, Nevares, if I recall correctly, he had a pretty decent outing in the friendly. And given Miles Lyons' struggles early in this season, I think it's great that we have that option now. So I'm interested to see what he does. Jamali Waite being back is huge. Obviously, went away with Jamaica. Same thing with really the man of the hour. I think Amando Moreno, who I saw a couple New Mexico United fans calling him Benedict Arnold on Twitter. So if he can show up tonight and have a big game, I mean, inject it, right? I mean, that would just be superb. But yeah, it's a strong 11. And 2 weeks off. Hopefully, it did the boys some good, or the ones that didn't go away on international duty, obviously. So, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. I think seeing the 11, there is definitely I think the thing I've been saying over and over again is I'm waiting to see the vision. And I think with this 11 and with the depth that then creates on the bench, I definitely see it more with this 11, and particularly when you've got options like Toomey and Joaquin Rivas, coming off of the bench, that starts to feel like a significantly stronger, squad versus what we had for the first handful of matches.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joaquin Rivas, we know, is coming off of a back injury, and to my understanding, he didn't really have much of a preseason, so that is just a little asterisk there for him. But I mean, yeah, he's been productive in this league in the past, and hopefully that continues with us. As for New Mexico, though, I mean, what do you make of their lineup? Because this is a really new era in New Mexico United history, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough to they've rolled out a pretty different 11. Like almost each match has had some changes.
They've even rotated their goalkeeper at times, which I think is fascinating.
Yeah, the one time they did that may have stopped now, because the one time that they did rotate
They
the
got
keeper, they got
Bashford.
pumped in Charleston. Um
Fair, yeah.
but I think the biggest like, because I know a lot of Locomotive fans who don't sit down and watch United games every weekend because they're not total sickos. And like good for you, honestly. Um, the biggest changes are like there really aren't any of the sort of names that we associate with the Derby who even are still on the squad. They aren't really regular starters anymore. So Swartz, Bruce, like those names that, used to pop up, they have sort of been played out of the team, I guess. And in midfield in particular, Justin Portillo is gone now. And in midfield, they've got Zico Bailey, who is pretty established defensive midfielder at the USL Championship level, but still pretty young. But he was like a good signing, I think, for New Mexico. And then they've been playing this 4-2-3-1, where Marco Micheletto is playing as a holding midfielder when he was playing as a winger
He's like an attacker, right?
in MLS Next Pro last year, and he's been a big surprise in terms of just how good he's been. I think genuinely watching the first game against Pittsburgh, it was like, why is Micheletto dropping so deep? And then you realize like, oh, like he's actually playing in holding midfield wearing the 10. And then Greg Hurst, in his now second spell, I think, with New Mexico, technically. And he is the danger man up top. The one player that they do miss today, if I'm not mistaken, is Jacobo Reyes, who's been really bright for them in like a 10 role. And it's Nicky Hernandez who gets the start in that spot this time. So I think that is probably a net positive. I'm not sure if Reyes is like a fitness issue, just because to me he was one of United's most important players when they played well. But yeah, it's a very, very new look side. I mean, people will notice that like Kalen Ryden does not start. I mean, there's basically the only real recognizable name from previous derbies is Tambakis in goal.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, aren't we are we even on wins and then there's a bunch of draws? So I mean, this fixture is finally poised to go one club's way, like going forward. So yeah, I mean, and it's a brand new, pretty much era for us too. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see these guys write a new chapter. There's no more Santi Moar, there's no more Yuma, really. I mean, yeah, it's a new era for sure in this derby, and I mean, I know you guys hashed it out on the podcast, but I mean, I feel that New Mexico United battered Phoenix 1-0. I think that game could have been a lot more embarrassing if Rocco Rios Nova doesn't stand on his head for the home team in that one. And it was a great way to bounce back from what happened in Charleston. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a big challenge. And New Mexico United, for what it's worth, I think they lead the league in attendance. I mean, they regularly have upwards of 11,000 people at Isotopes Park. So, it's going to be a raucous atmosphere, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been impressive. And yeah, you mentioned the Phoenix game. They also really limited what Phoenix did, which for a Locomotive side that has just the one goal, like this year, it is that also, feels like it's not the type of opponent that you want to come up against, where they limited Phoenix to, I think, 6 total shots in the game and just 1 on target. So even if they had played without a keeper, the game ends 1-1. Kind of crazy to think about, but I'm trying to focus on the fact that Phoenix has since sort of bounced back offensively to yesterday night against Tulsa, so maybe we can find some cracks.
That was a crazy game.
Nuts, absolutely wild.
Yeah, I thought Tulsa was gonna sneak it. They were putting on a lot of pressure at the end there, but
they were. There's been a lot of that going around, not just in USL. It feels like there's just been a lot of crazy games like the
I
past
missed
couple of
Louisville
weekends.
today, but my goodness, what an advert for USL Championship on national
Absolutely.
TV.
I tweeted this, but I said there was a lot being made of the fact that Jack Harlow was in attendance as well. And
He's
I
at
just
like
made
every game.
he is like a big Louisville supporter and a native, obviously, and all that stuff. But I I said that we can't do the cutaways to Jack Harlow all the time and like make him the Taylor Swift of the championship until he is dating a player.
Oh my.
Then we can have that conversation. No, I'm just
Then we can start tracking his plane and
yeah.
shaming him for CO2 emissions. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, my stream is going. What about you, Phil?
All right, I'm gonna get mine cracking. I actually I took my eye off the ball here because I was watching Charleston and Rhode Island playing in the pouring rain in Rhode Island. It is just chucking it down. It looks like a Wednesday evening in Stoke.
East Coast is going through it right now, man. Like New York just had a fucking earthquake. Like what is happening?
Yeah. And I'm on the the path of totality for this eclipse here in Ohio. So yeah, it's all kinds of whatever phenomena going on. Yeah, my stream is up as well. I'm seeing a lot of New Mexico highlights right now. So
Yes. Yeah, I mean it was really well constructed goal to be fair.
Yeah.
Against Phoenix. But yeah.
Weird that they picked. Why are they going to this one for? This is a strange save from Tembaka. Like I don't know if those are the highlights. Like that actually made me feel a little bit better.
The one straight back into the penalty area.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it's
and
not a great save.
And the one where he dives, even though it's kind of like straight down his throat, like he sort of dives and like nearly makes a mess of it, and then comes to claim a corner and actually has to like make a big adjustment to not flap. So,
Right.
anyways, hopefully more goalkeeping like that. But I don't know. Tambakis always finds a way, I feel like, against us in particular to stand on his head.
Yeah.
The 1-0 last season in New Mexico, I remember, speaking of getting battered 1-0, like that was when we were in, on song and they were struggling early in the season. And probably could have had 6 or 7
Right.
on a different day. So, yeah, halcyon days. feels like a long time ago.
I'm wondering how many.
We've got people queuing up in the chat. We've got Jake.
Was right.
We got Jake supporting Lee Dixon's penalty. Can you imagine if when people logged onto this, we just anything that could potentially go Locomotive's way, we're just like, no, no, not for me. We want to appear partial.
Right. Never a penalty.
Never a pen.
Second half starts still talking about the penalty. Like, what? He was just on one.
The penalty.
You
really
would have thought that he made 400 plus appearances for the Seagulls. It was crazy.
And then we've got United forgets that Las Cruces sides with Loco, and that
absolutely
is so true.
I've been saying that since 2019. Las Cruces is Loco's territory. I have seen the stray New Mexico United bumper sticker around, but those people are just confused.
Yeah,
extremely confused. Albuquerque does not care about the rest of the state. I'm just putting it out there.
No.
They can call it New Mexico United all they want. It's Albuquerque United.
It is funny. It is funny when people try to claim, especially a state as expansive as New Mexico. It's kind of tough to claim, regardless.
Right.
No one's making a 4-hour trip.
No.
Every weekend, you know what I mean? No one's going to be a season ticket holder from Cruces. Maybe you make a game or something.
Right. Nah, That's Loco's territory, period.
Yeah, no, it is. That said, I'm sure we're gonna have a nice Locos contingent who made the trip up to Albuquerque as well. And I know last year you guys were able to go, I think, right? Or was that last year?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did make the trip. That was the cat gate where we had the
Cat
cat in our Airbnb. That was
That's
so
right.
bizarre.
That's right.
But Phil, you predicted. I listened to the podcast and I listened to you or saw the USL show Pick'em too, and you predicted a New Mexico United win, I believe.
I did.
With the lineup coming out today, is your mind swayed at all?
So I will say I feel better. And I want to make it clear to anyone watching this that I am happy to be wrong. Like I really I've been getting cooked in the USL pick'em. Like I have had a horrible start to the season. That said, coming off of, there was a period last year where I was locking whoever played against Locomotive as a way to try to jinx them out. And it sucked because I had picked up a ton of points that way through that really rough part of the season. Like I was just racking up points because our lock picks count for more or whatever. But anyways, man, they've really USL Graphics has really, they are chefing with the lineup they just put across. Liam Rose at striker.
Oh my goodness, this is a shambles.
There's a lot happening there. Navarez is in central midfield.
White was spelled wrong. Okay. Dog.
There's a lot happening. Well, it looks like we're about to get underway here.
Yes.
But short answer. Oh, we've got the solar flare. Forget a solar eclipse. We've got a solar flare straight down the camera.
As always.
Like, you gotta love how they haven't shifted the kickoff time to 7:30 is just beyond me. Like, I don't understand.
It's so bad. We've kicked off, at least on my stream.
And of course, Locomotive is attacking that end. But yeah, we have kicked off. I'm about to come up on 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. I'm way behind.
So I'll pause at 30.
Okay.
Yeah, the short answer to your question is it has made me
30
more optimistic, I would say, of a Locomotive win. In general, I think the depth in particular, like if things aren't going to plan, we actually have pieces on the bench who can like change the game. And I think that is the biggest like piece of comfort I've gotten. Now, the one thing that I need to see for sure is we've just got to see more connection between the different phases of play for Locomotive. Like, we've just seen this disjointedness and over reliance on the fullbacks to advance the ball. Like
100%, yeah.
And so I'm looking for the midfielders to be more involved. And I think Christian called it out perfectly that, if Eric Calvillo is like heavily involved and playing well today, it means that likely Locomotive is doing good things in build up.
Well, I do like that we've
started doing some good things.
They're third.
They're doing some good things right now, and we actually are forcing the ball into the box. Stauffer fires off a shot and earns Locomotive's first corner. So already Eric Calvillo popping up out wide.
I think that was him that threw that cross in, but oh my, with the Cloverfield camera footage.
Yeah. Found footage in Albuquerque. Yeah, this is Michael Bay FC. No big pyro yet, but Stauffer serving in the corner. Tambakis punches away, foul given. And now we're getting. Now my feed's kind of glitching a little bit.
Mine too, yeah. I feel like we're watching a really bad game at Bournemouth. Like, they've got that low camera angle at the Vitality Stadium, but this is like nausea-inducing.
This is crazy. Like, I don't remember it being this bad. One, it feels way too zoomed in.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'm just catching their injury report. Other big misses for New Mexico that we missed out in the pre-match: Sergio Rivas and Christian Nava. Is this Nisa? It does. When you compare this, if anybody did watch the CBS broadcast, or even of the any of the CBS Sports like Golazo matches, the level of production is like
night and day.
It's not even close. Oh, is Waite playing himself into a little bit of trouble here, able to get it away? Yeah, I mean, I can't figure out, and he's actually zoomed in now further.
I'm so confused. It's never been this bad.
And now we're just watching
Navarez.
We're just watching the Oh, he's given a free kick for this, right on the edge of the box. Yeah, this is I mean,
bad.
This is bad. It's funny because yeah, I mean it's one of those where Bolu gets the ball but also gets the man.
Yeah, he kind of stomps on his foot there.
Yeah. So that's tough. As they get a free kick about 23 or 4 yards out, but even compared to, I mean, I've watched a lot of US Open Cup over the last few weeks.
Sure.
And they've played at some venues that are not set up for broadcasts, right? And those broadcasts have been better than this. I don't get why New Mexico insists. I think it's a crowd thing. I think it's an attendance thing. They insist on having the camera on a scissor lift, like on the far side, rather than as that free kick goes just over the bar.
Oof, close.
They insist on having it on the side facing the stands, which I get why you would do that, and at the same time, like, I guarantee you they have a camera well in the same spot that Locomotive do.
Well, you would think. I mean, it's a baseball stadium as well.
Yeah, like I guarantee there's a built-in camera well like that would work just fine.
I just don't understand why they do this. But this is like the worst I've seen.
This is like, and it seems like they've at least gotten the camera a bit wider, like, because it was just zoomed for a while there, and now New Mexico player's down, holding his face or his head. Yeah, the production here is like, this is wild. Like, I don't know that we've ever seen anything.
So I'm just checking the weather real quick because everyone's bundled up. It's 48 degrees in Albuquerque right now.
It's warmer here.
That's insane. Wow. Chilly one.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by teams that so like New Mexico put that it was that Eric Quill is their third head coach. It feels sort of like our year counting, or like every American club counting years, where it's like at a certain point, do you just say, like, do you just stop? Because, like, can you imagine if, like, every time the Chiron came up for, like, Mikel Arteta, it was like Arsenal's 127th manager or whatever? Like, I don't like. Deion Harris getting down the left, cuts it back. Shot comes in, and that is the opener for New Mexico. Absolutely terrible to watch in every way.
Yeah.
And they celebrate down with the curse, but exactly not the start that Locomotive would have wanted. And you gotta say, it was especially not the type of goal that you'd expect to concede, given that we do pack defensive midfield. And a simple cutback, sort of being able to fall, like, just travel that far without any sort of intervention. It's just not really excusable.
No. And I mean, this early in the game, like, you're still trying to just get a foothold, and to let them do that so early is not a good sign. Now it's now your game plan has to change, right? So, I mean, Dolomar gets absolutely done here, and then no one intervenes on the cutback. I mean, that ball traveled for such a long time to find
Yeah.
Nicoletto.
Everyone's
But
standing in
hey,
the area.
it's a good finish.
Yeah, what a hit. And of course it's Micheletto. I had to open my goddamn mouth in the pre-match. But yeah, it is sort of like you rip up the Amando able to hold on to the ball there. But yeah, it was like after a kind of bright start from Locomotive, they just lost their way. And confirmation that some of the reason we're getting this close camera angle is because they are because of the lens flare. Bolu steps up and makes an interception. Rolled out wide for Navarez. Basulovic, there was some mention of the fact that he is like an enigma, not just to us, but sort of like to the broader watching public. In sort of like how he's being utilized as this ball goes out wide for Stauffer. And looks like the flag was up for offside, maybe? It was odd. But again, with the camera angle, I couldn't tell you.
What are you thinking right now if you're Brian Clare Howe? Like, it's just like gut punch after gut punch.
Yeah.
Start to the season's been so just tough, like in every way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in a lot of ways, like you think you're probably thinking like after when things knit together like in the early stage, and you're thinking like, okay, we're like putting it together, we're advancing the ball, like settling in. You want to get those like opening 10 minutes out of the way, like especially on the road, tough atmosphere, all that stuff. And I think consistently he's had to like what he's probably match, whether by our game plan or by opponent actions, I guess. But yeah, I think he's just had to rip up his plans like in a lot of games this season, unfortunately, and it just sort of it does make us like less confident, I would say. Like, and a lot of fans probably are focused on the fact that it doesn't feel like we necessarily come out of the gates flying in these matches.
Well, and early in this one, we're already like having to sprint back towards our goal repeatedly, and that's just playing into New Mexico United's hands. They love those transitions, so
Yeah,
not good.
and see, that's actually a really good switch from Noah. I thought he was hoofing, and I'm glad to see that he wasn't. But
Man, I need like a motion sickness patch for this game. This is crazy.
Moreno's in here, just slips at the vital
Booze
moment.
for the former New Mexico United man.
Yep.
Brian there trying to facilitate the quick throw in.
Really funny to listen to New Mexico commentary. They're really trying to like be political about Moreno's inclusion, and it's just really funny because rather than saying like, oh, some booze, from the curse, like as Moreno like plays against his former team, it was like they were acknowledging that he's out there. I'm like, okay.
By the way, Ivan Militar going off at the hip about the sun flare and the really insane starting 11 graphic that they put up.
Going. Yeah, not the best for the production team.
No.
Cross comes in from Stauffer. Navarez was actually closest to it. Moreno is able to collect it. Rose chips it back through. Literally can't see what's happening.
No.
Yeah, I need some Dramamine. This is crazy. Sulovic rolls it down the line. Moreno popping up on the right-hand side now. Cross goes to the back post, but no one was there to get to it. Stauffer recollects. Sulovic was looking for the next ball, couldn't find it. And then Alfaro actually getting involved. Alfaro touches in the box. Is that what we're looking for? Or?
Man, I don't know anymore. This is hard to watch for myriad reasons.
Yeah. Well, if at any point it becomes like genuinely hard to watch from like a physical perspective, don't feel any pressure.
Just log out.
Yeah. Because I know as like my wife gets motion sickness real bad, and yeah, if she was watching this right now, she would leave the room. Like she'd be like, I can't, like I'll have to go to sleep.
It's so funny because it's like as soon as you can see a play developing, the fucking sun beams out.
Yeah.
Destroys the retinas. It's like literally can't win.
I need this thing. I need the sun to act as the Men in Black fucking memory eraser so I can think we had a good performance. Noah stepping up proactively in defense there, but Basulovic getting caught on the ball. Noah again cleaning up though. Noah was clearly like gassed at Vegas, and I know we were kind of joking around about it because he was getting ripped apart at various times, but it's worth mentioning that yeah, he for sure was struggling like in terms of fitness, and you can see like when he's fresh, he looks like the proactive and active defender that we had at the end of last season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alfaro playing with fire a little bit, but able to spin away from the press, and again makes like a big forward run.
Yeah, he's going to the box. What are we doing?
No, this is like we're Chris Wilden out. Like, what the hell is happening? As a Sheffield United reference. Oh, Moreno goes down in the box.
It's got a penalty.
It's at least, I mean, it's a corner, right? Like,
at the very least.
They're chanting Pobrecito at Moreno.
Rough life.
That's funny. Amando Moreno, subline.
Subline.
The graphics team is just really just killing it. I think it's like a placeholder. Like
it is. It's like a template.
Yeah. Justin Dillon apparates on the ball. Like,
no, for real. I forgot that he was on the pitch.
What is happening? It's weird with Dillon as Moreno fires off a shot, but the offside flag was already up. I'm pretty sure the offside flag was up.
I thought so too.
So, maybe not, because everybody stopped. But
I mean, Tambakis is rebound city, so
yeah,
we should be crashing the 6-yard box.
Yeah, and with Dillon, it's one of those things where I'm like, on the one hand, you want to see him involved, and on the other hand, I'm like, at least it means that we're not like lumping it to him.
Sure.
So maybe if Dillon getting fewer touches, like, could be indicative of like better buildup.
Right.
It's really crazy that we did spend we have been like not impressed, obviously, with Miles Lyons like start to the season, and I think in general he does need to up his level for sure. And we can see the inclusion of Navarez here, and that even more makes me upset that the goal comes down that flank, like Dayon Harris in behind, and I'm just like,
Yeah, no, that right
more of
side
the same.
is
It's just more of the same, like regardless of the personnel.
yeah. That right side has been trouble for us.
Good pressing from Navarez, wins it back. Moreno. He was
Moreno
looking for.
is up for it.
He is definitely up for it. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Stauffer was looking for Dylan. The amount of that is so okay. So we're about 19 minutes into the match, and it's become pretty clear, or it's become clearer that the lens flare or the sunset is like less of an issue, but it's still like right on the edge. I guarantee you by the 30-minute mark, we're going to be sitting here thinking like, oh, thank God it's gone. And when they could have just kicked off at 7:30, Moreno into the box, dragged down again.
Nothing doing from the ref.
Stauffer trying to get to the byline, looking for Dylan.
Oh, that was it. That was it.
Oh, he's missed a sitter.
That was it.
Oh, any contact towards goal, like it was gaping.
I mean, decent response to going
Very,
down early.
very
say.
good response.
Yeah.
Very good response. Moreno too. I mean, and maybe it's the camera, maybe the ref. I mean, the ref is standing on stable ground, unlike us. So like, oh, sort of related, given the fact that we're completely shaking here. The one of my favorite genre of online videos in the last week has been people who were filming something while the earthquake happened in New York.
Okay.
Because they start coming to the realization, and there's this probably my favorite one that is now being used for other sorts of jokes. Was this girl was wearing like she was wearing a dress with like a scoop neck, and was talking about how it's clavicle season, and like it's like clavicles out or something like that. And then she's like, wait, is my whole building shaking? And so someone took that sound and made a video of girlies in Pompeii 79 AD.
The internet is just too quick with it, man.
Yeah. Is my whole building shaking? Like, it's clavicle season. Is my whole building shaking? Dying. Anyways, in the meantime, Moreno had a shot on goal that was completely out of frame. So
peppering Tambakis.
Yeah, I think it is his like third save already.
Yeah, third or fourth.
We've already forced more saves out of Tambakis than we have out of like any opposing keeper up to this point. So Stauffer went far post, but no one was actually making that run. We are crowding Tambakis, and I think we did this against Vegas too, where it was like really crowding the keeper on corners and trying to like drill it into that area and just kind of hope something good happens. But
I just feel like right now we're in such a good moment that we absolutely have to
score. Yeah. 100%. Jake, this was on our preview. I did call for this, and I sent Mika into into a fit on her commute.
I was just like, what? Of all the examples,
I mean, it's just the
it
most
is the
extreme.
one. Yeah.
It's the most extreme one of like someone celebrating in front of their old fans. It I also like the idea of as New Mexico threatening to get in here, Dollenmeyer just puts it behind for a corner. A lot of questions being asked, actually. That was interesting. Rose and Calvillo sort of like getting into it a little bit. And just like assignment wise, it seemed like maybe who was supposed to pick up a certain area or a certain player, but they do have a corner kick here. They take it short. It's played back out for Harris, headed away by Akinyode, and Moreno trying to get it down and run with it. No foul.
It's kind of weird. He looked like he got barged in the back.
Yeah. And it's one of those where it's like, I don't know. I think in general, I think there's like a weird, tendency of referees to be like, if the ball's gone, then like, I'm not going to give the foul, even if like it does not necessarily matter. Like particularly in something like that, where he's clearly trying to break up a counterattack. Mexico trying to play it in that space again, and you can see like they definitely are. The out ball is into that space in behind the wing backs. That is just like they're playing it into that space and just hoping someone runs onto it. That time it's too long, but on either flank, that is like the game plan. It is just play it into that space.
And as it should be. I mean, that's how we've gotten beaten in every game so far this season, except for the draw. So, yeah.
I don't know how I'm assuming like with Adebayor, I don't know how anyone wouldn't hate Adebayor after something as like blatant as that. Like, I mean, Liverpool fans were giving it were booing Suarez because he celebrated it in the Camp Nou when he scored for Barcelona in the Champions League against Liverpool. And he basically said to the press, like, but that was in Barcelona. Like, I wouldn't celebrate in front of Liverpool or whatever. And they're like, we were still watching the game. Do you know how it like? Do you know how that works?
TV.
Like, long ball over the top, but flag goes up against Moreno. I think in general, rounding up some of the action tonight. First couple of goalless draws in the USL. Like there were a couple of weekends where there wasn't a single goalless draw. And Pittsburgh Tampa.
They drew?
Finished 0-0.
Well, that's a good result for Pittsburgh at this point.
It's a very good result. They actually, I think, now I wasn't able to watch the second half of that game, but based on the first half, Pittsburgh should have been up like 1 or 2-0 at halftime. They actually looked quite good. And I was disheartened by the fact that Pittsburgh looked good because like someone else has to be memeing, right? Like it can't just be us.
Well, what's Colorado doing right now against Sacramento?
Okay, so Colorado they're getting beat. So we got that going for us. But it's also Sacramento, so
right.
The ball somehow stayed in play. Hernandez trying to run away, but Akinyode again, like good. And I think overall I'm happier with how the center backs are when they're proactively like winning the ball and like stepping up into space. I think I'm more pleased with how that's going. Obviously they're having to run like back towards their own goal too much. And that's where the issue was essentially. as Basulovic tries to get the ball out wide for Stauffer. Stauffer did well there to like use his body to get around.
Yeah.
Moreno into the box again. He's just like hands all over him too. Again, like
just enough without fouling. I mean, that is good defending. To be fair.
We've got another Loco in the house. We've got Christian Canales.
What's up,
Christian? Do you have any sort of wastebasket or air sickness bag for any potential motion sickness induced by this camera work?
Oh no, my stream just like cut, like it just signed in or whatever you want to call it, and I already hate this.
It's by far the worst.
Why are we on like action cam? Like, why are we focused on one?
Because of the solar flare.
Jesus,
it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's starting to get noticeably darker though at the stadium, and we're about half an hour into the match where the solar flare is now essentially gone.
Solar flare is the 12th man.
Okay.
Stauffer back in field for Calvillo. He was looking for a return out wide. Did that get touched by a New Mexico player? No. I mean, Christian, where's your stream at?
I think I'm a little bit ahead. 29, 12, 13, 14.
Okay. We're like maybe 6 seconds behind you, 7 seconds behind you.
Yeah. I'll stop at 29:30. You just tell me when you're at 29:30.
Perfect. New Mexico trying to play out here, and we are hitting 29:30 right now.
Okay. All right. So scoreline notwithstanding, how are things looking?
Chat, you can give Christian your thoughts as well as they are in here and wait. Fouled, and actually a yellow card goes to Greg Hurst. I think this is a little harsh. I'm trying my best not to Lee Dixon here, but I do think the yellow's a little harsh on a striker going.
Not a foul if you're a striker.
Yeah, for a striker, I don't know if there's enough in it for me. But no, I think it's a foul because obviously he makes contact with Jamali, but he actually plays he shoots.
But this, I was more looking at this secondary action on the outside with Stauffer like running. Into equality. That's
lucky that everything had been given. The foul had been given already. Luckily, so it was like it would have been moot, I guess, like the Stauffer action. But yeah, it was. Yeah. I think Hurst does have a case in terms of the yellow card. I think it is a foul because he follows through into Jamali. That's just like the nature of the beast. But just hoping Jamali is okay here because but there's also, I think maybe the referee's like looking at knees as well, where Hurst sort of like protects himself by bringing his knees up and making contact like with Jamali like straight in the middle of his chest. So
yeah,
it's not. The initial thing though, it's like I don't know if a striker's shooting or challenging and a keeper is coming out and sliding. Like to me, that's not something that should necessarily like be a card, but Liam's touch there, like really, really important, because he just touches it like out ahead of Hurst enough where he can't get any control of it and has to sort of take this like first time.
Yeah. Otherwise it would have been a very, very good ball. Crowd not liking it.
Yeah. I get not liking the yellow. I definitely don't. And I'm not trying to whatever pontificate because I'm sure I've been a part of it before, but I've always been leery of booing someone who's down injured, like after what was a clear collision. Like if you have video evidence of like, okay, there was no contact or something like that, it's like, feel free to boo, in a diving situation or something like that. But I'm always leery of like when people start booing players who are down injured, and you're just like, well, you don't really know. Like, you don't really know if something.
This essentially.
he could have. Moreno finding Dylan, and then we're immediately sort of hit on the break. Nicoletto, and at least we already got Moreno with getting the Pobrecito chant for sure. But yeah, Christian, to go back to your earlier question before it got exciting there, I think all in all, it's been like bright in patches, and then immediately followed by what was like, yeah,
what
I thought,
the hell is he doing there?
it's definitely a foul. I don't think they even whistled
on the
a foul.
wrong side of him. What the hell?
That was kind of crazy. Like, I can't believe he even tried that.
Yeah, like I don't know how to explain this, but that was like the most New Mexico thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's like a FIFA slide tackle when you're losing really bad, where you just like out of nowhere dive in when it makes like no sense contextually. Oh, as they might be getting through here.
And sometimes the ref doesn't call it.
Yeah. Hernandez. It did look like he fell kind of strangely, Hernandez there.
It looked like he slipped, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Ball forward for Dylan to chase. Dylan, I thought the ball was on for Navarez, but Moreno gets to the byline, trying to cut it back, and Navarez he was thinking Navarez was going to wait for the cutback, and Navarez made a run to the far post instead, and they just got their wires crossed.
I think they called it out anyways.
Oh, did they?
Did it go past the goal line?
Yeah. At least I hope so, given the fact that they just cut away from the game.
That was a really good challenge from Bolu, and good non-call by the ref as well on that Hernandez fall. So, yeah, good spot from the ref. Credit where it's due. Calvillo trying to drive forward and doing well here, but eventually ran out of room. More of that from Eric, though, I think would be. It was really interesting. Christian, like first minute of the game, Eric popped up on the left flank, which was really weird. Like on the byline. Oh, turnover here. Tamakis again.
He's working him.
But Moreno, yeah, I think 3 shots on target already for Moreno.
He's trying to do it all himself.
Yep.
# no help.
He just has to start it a little bit wider. Like I think, or maybe in the end, he's trying to catch him out at the near post. Stauffer delivers in the free kick, or the corner kick, headed over by Alfaro. Alfaro sporting a platinum blonde. That's a new look for Tony.
And it is.
It's too much of that on the field right now.
Everybody's got blonde hair. Yeah, kind of a weird one, Mika, right? Like spells of good with admittedly small, but like the spells of bad have just been like immediate New Mexico chances. Like, although there's only been a couple.
Yeah, it's been kind of a high risk, high reward approach, but we just haven't got the reward yet.
Well, between the lines here, we're looking for Dylan. Brought down.
Oh.
Man, Herbert is...
He's not appealing for anything.
Herbert is...
Or is he?
Really
with
good.
the linesman? It's like the third time that a Locomotive player's gone down. Oh, what a challenge.
No, that's just...
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, yeah.
But is it not a corner?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's upset about.
Oh, he gave offside.
Oh.
Because where he took that, he did not take a goal kick. He took a free kick. So I don't know how he gives offside there. That Dylan looked well onside.
Interesting.
Pro refs, that's how. Okay.
Fucking hell, they're just like sliding in all over the place.
But somehow it's on us.
Navarra's not happy with the challenge that went in from Zico Bailey. This is weird because the ref didn't give anything for the 2 New Mexico appeals, and then when Navarra's got fouled, almost like he was playing advantage,
but like the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because it was just a super delayed whistle. Like, so much happened after, because that's not the foul, obviously, because he lets play go on. So he gives a foul for this. Referee, nothing. Like, that was crazy.
Like, was he waiting to see if he got up and took off with the ball? Like, he was already on the floor.
That was so weird. Well, reaching just about 5 minutes shy of halftime, 1-0 down on the road. Have tested Tambakis, though.
Yeah. More of that.
Micheletto went over the top, but too long.
Who's that wearing a mask?
Vasilovic.
Oh.
Yeah, he wore it against so in the Bravos friendly, I think he was the one who got clocked in the Bravos friendly.
Yeah.
So I think he's worn it now in Vegas in this game.
Okay. I have no idea where the field ends on the far side.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh no, that's actually it's a Dune crossover that they're doing, cross promotion that they're doing with the deserts, the desert power of the far sideline.
Not the sandworms coming out and
score a goal.
My Arrakis.
Score a goal in the voice.
Yeah. Cross coming in and over everyone. But yeah, talking some of the stuff around the league. Christian, I don't know if you saw this, but Tim Robinson did, and I think you should leave live show in Detroit, and he was at the Detroit City game today.
I saw.
So he saw Detroit City beat North Carolina 1-0. Detroit City are 5-0. Like,
they don't deserve anything they have.
they've won all 5 of their matches to start the season. And Danny Dicio, who was Mark Briggs' assistant in Sacramento and has taken that Sacramento like approach to Detroit. It is working so far. And it looks like a big improvement from last year, but
what's that like? Improvement? Never heard of her.
There looked like there might have been something on for Stauffer there, but nothing doing. Hartford beat Miami 3-2, so another exciting one. The middle of the day was like Hartford 3-2 Miami, and then Louisville 5-3 Indy on national TV as Harris is into the box, just wide.
That was a good run.
Yeah,
Man, Noah
Harris
Dolmeyer 1-on-1 is terrifying.
Harris is a bad matchup down that flank for Noah.
He's constantly getting the wrong side of him.
Yeah. Yeah, he like gave him a step, but didn't, just basically was like, well, I'm not going to let him cut inside, and just gave him
all of his left foot.
the whole byline is Stauffer now. Vasilovic getting to the edge of the area. Nice little move here, but opts for the chip to the far post. Stauffer went for a cross into the middle, but dealt with and out only as far as Liam Rose. But yeah, it's been again, nice moments from Locomotive, but that final ball just like not quite there. And this a bad giveaway in midfield, and it catches us totally out of shape. Alfaro and Deion Harris is down like
What are we
behind.
doing? Oh my god.
Well, we're under no obligation to stop the game.
No.
It seemed like that's what, like, I don't know, it seemed like we stopped playing for a little bit, but New Mexico was not stopping.
Right.
I mean, he's also like right on the.
I think he's off the field. He was off the field the whole, like, he like ran off the field, and
I can't tell. Like, it looks like he's just on the field, which I never.
yeah.
I don't know. It's one of the things that I never understood. Like, why doesn't the referee just like tell him? Like, especially when you're that close to the touchline, it's just like, okay, just like receive treatment off the field.
Whose phone is vibrating?
Oh, that's me. Sorry. I'm watching on my phone, and so I had it propped up on my desk.
Someone's popular.
Right?
No, it just means my daughter's not asleep. They're motion alerts from her baby monitor.
Oh my god, I wouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, Deion Harris was closing down Alfaro and just get
I think a little Charlie horse or something.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it from Alfaro. Harris gets fooled by the body
choice feint. Though by Tony there, the like attempted
the Cruyff turn
in our own box. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That could have gone so wrong.
So he's a stout guy, isn't he? Harris.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of like built like Francois almost. Maybe not as muscly, but
yeah. 5 added minutes. Harris back on. Why did it feel like we were waiting for him to come back on too, to like actually play?
Yeah, I don't know where the urgency is right now.
His team frustrates me.
And Dolan Meyer's gonna get.
He's getting done over and over again.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sweep the leg.
It's not clever from Noah.
No.
It's not a terrible challenge, but it's definitely, I mean.
Well, it's definitely, he's got the beating of you.
Right.
And that's why you're doing that.
Right.
You're just wildly swinging a leg because you're second best.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to kick Deion Harris out of the game is certainly a tactic.
I mean, I mean, it's yeah. It gets Noah out of trouble short term.
Yeah.
But you got to finish the job if you're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Come for the king, you better not miss.
Oh, man. We were having shots on target. We were actually.
I'll just log off, guys.
No, no, it's not. I'm trying to be less superstitious these days about that sort of stuff. It's not working, but I'm trying. A little sloppy there from New Mexico, luckily, because that was on. Like that immediate ball out. Like if they win that first ball.
It really kills me though how we let them get back into their shape.
Yep. Stuffer was trying to force it through for Dylan, I think, but because Moreno's never getting there, but
where's Cody Mizell these days?
ooh. Interesting question.
Goalkeeper coach for DC United.
Oh, so Lassane hooked his boy up.
That is interesting.
That is actually interesting. Akali tried to chip it through. It goes to Jamali Waite. Nepo baby. Cody Mizell, famously Troy Lassane's son. No, it is crazy how nepotistic though those systems do get, because like for as much as like you want it to be a meritocracy and stuff like that, I mean the way that people break through is by knowing people.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
there's a reason that the same carousel of like 20 dudes get hired, and this isn't just MLS. Like I'm talking world football.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mexico for sure.
Where it's like, people are like, man, how does like X guy keep getting hired? And it's like, Harry Redknapp, perfect example. Oh, yellow card.
Sam.
Big Sam.
This would trigger the shit out of me. Oh my god. But every time I listen to Ange speak, I feel like I'm listening to Hutch. Like I don't know if y'all saw the other day, he was like, if players just want the Champions League, then they shouldn't come to Spurs. I'm like, what kind of attitude is that to have? Like, you're a loser.
Yeah. Oh, and then,
I'm looking for a certain character here, and it's like, oh my god, I've heard this before.
Ooh, that is not a particularly good challenge from Navarez. That is not a good challenge.
No.
That's a VAR red.
That's an orange. That's an orange.
Booking though, yeah.
Yeah. And him being booked when that's been the flank that they've targeted, obviously not great. Like,
what is that?
They were literally begging to let Jamali grab it. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, it is halftime. For those of you who hung in there and braved, the HMS isotopes for whatever seasickness we've got. It is 1-0 New Mexico United. Marco Micheletto, the difference so far. A really nice strike in just the 7th minute. But since then, there's been chances for both sides. It is fair to say. But unfortunately, Locomotive unable to capitalize on theirs, while New Mexico are still looking dangerous at the other end. But guys, I mean, we've another hill to climb for this Locomotive side.
Yep, 1-0 down, and there were some good moments, but I mean, they're just the final ball is just lacking. Quality is lacking, so I really don't know what more we can do, but because really, like, the only goal that we've scored this season has been from an individual effort. So,
yeah, it's been well, and it's been individual effort, I would say, I guess, from Moreno that's led to a lot of the chances. Stauffer's obviously been bright down the left-hand side. But again, you know, that space in behind and in particular, Noah, I think, is being targeted. That Dayon Harris matchup is not a particularly favorable one for Noah. And you know, we talked about, like, I was giving him flowers at the beginning of the game because he was being proactive and kind of stepping up into space. And the reality of this system is that when the ball gets played into that open space between or in behind the fullback or the wing back, I should say, the center back doesn't have a ton of ability to be proactive in that case, because it's essentially you are it until the keeper. When the ball gets played into that space, like, you have to take that man one-on-one, because if you gamble and try to cut that ball out, then he's through, right? So, like, you sort of have to square up and defend that guy, and it creates these sort of natural mismatches because you've got a center back out wide defending a winger one-on-one, which is, you know, in many cases a mismatch. And you talk about it in the context of, like, you know, I'm thinking, like, in a Liverpool context, if you have, like, you know, Ibrahima Konate dragged wide to defend like a winger, that's like that's an exceptional situation and not one that you want to happen, like, repeatedly, like, over and over again. Like, you would more ideally want Konate to get to the ball first, right, and deal with it if it goes into that space, because we know the fullbacks are forward. So similarly here, it's like you want them to get to the ball first, and so often it feels like there's so much space between the center backs and our wing backs that they can't get into that. Like, there's no way they're beating the winger to the ball, like, if they play a half decent ball.
what about this? Do you see any changes?
Right now, I think it's just a question of if they're willing to go into like a 3-4-3 or something like that, and maybe take off Basulovic for Rivas and try to, like, widen things in attack a little bit, and maybe diversify the attack a little bit, because it has primarily come down that left-hand side. So I don't know if that could be interesting in terms of being a little less predictable, by adding a third attacker. But yeah, I think other than that, I don't know that we have. I don't know that we have great options in terms of. I mean, Gray could be interesting potentially, but having never seen him, like, I can't say that with any sort of credibility.
He, at the beginning of the game, I was thinking he would be like a really good player to bring on if we're trying to, like, keep a result.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of hard to.
It's like maybe Gray. Maybe you bring on Gray if you're making a double change and going to a back four, where if you bring on an attacker for Basulovic, you bring on Gray, and you go to a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 or whatever you want to call it, but he becomes the defensive midfielder. Calvillo gets freed up a little bit. And then you bring on Rivas for Basulovic and go into, you know, more and go into a whatever back four that way. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's a change that sticks out in terms of. It's funny because if we were still struggling to create, then there would probably be like an obvious change that I would want to make. I think the only thing that a change does at this point is like um is like red card mitigation.
I was just gonna say, yeah, if there's a change to be made more like immediately, it's to save us from going down a man.
Yeah,
So
because
it was getting a little wild there towards the end of the first half.
it's Navarez and who else is on a booking? Or wait, do we have another
I think
booking?
it's just Navarez. The other guy who got carded was Hurst.
Oh, did Noah not get a booking for that?
Somehow
Harris
he
challenge?
escaped a booking, yeah. But
That's
he
crazy.
should've
I
been
just
booked.
assumed he was booked because that would have been the only thing where I'm like, maybe just bring a center back on for Noah because like if he got a yellow, then he's definitely getting sent off.
Noah's had a torrid time,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Defending any at least.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the other one, and I have to like me and Christian have to hold our hands up because we did not mention the name Petar Petrovic at all in our preview, and apparently rightfully so because he doesn't make the squad. So
Yeah, that's a big miss for us too.
and you have to think like obviously, you know, I think it was mentioned that like his was like sort of he was feeling like a knock or he was like
It's his
he,
Achilles. It's just a recurring thing.
yeah. And that's tough. That's really tough to manage because so for anyone involved on USL Twitter or who has seen any artwork around any of our stuff, including the crest on this custom Seriously Loco kit by Icarus last year, Mike Pendleton, who is a fixture of USL Twitter and in particular a Tampa Bay Rowdies fan, and he played pickup soccer. Like he went to go play. Oh, pickup basketball. Yeah. He went to go play pickup and ruptured his Achilles his very first time getting back into playing pickup basketball. And the difference between like straining or like injuring your Achilles and rupturing your Achilles is like, I mean, months of like rehab,
surgery.
Yeah, the whole nine. So like it is tough with someone like Petar who is having a recurring Achilles issue. Like you don't really have an option to like push it, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can't like, oh, I hope nothing happens.
It's got to be tough for him too because he's also had ACL ruptures in the past. So like for him, I'm sure he just goes into self-preservation mode, which you can understand that.
Yeah, but it's your career at the end of the day. So yeah, it's I don't know if there's any big changes. I think the one thing that I can say for sure out of that half is I was encouraged by the fact that we were creating because like Phoenix toiled for 90 minutes against New Mexico and didn't fashion like hardly anything of note. And we've created some pretty decent chances, which is more than we can say for a few of our games this year. So like, as we see the Marco Micheletto strike, obviously we talked about the fact that he is an attacker by trade, or he is typically an attacker by trade. And his strike in the end is, yeah, you can see the heritage there. Something that, it's funny. The Italian just jumps out. He just straight to the crowd, to the barriers, just screaming. So, but the Moreno chances are playing now. And it's, I mean, you got to say like, you'd almost being harsh on Armando. Like you almost say like, he should probably score one of those.
3 shots on target. They're all him, surely. Right?
They're all him. Pause, though. Goals? Score? What's going on? What's going on with this graphics team?
Are we okay in Albuquerque? Like, check for a gas leak because this is crazy. Goals and score.
I would love the idea of goals and score being different. Just like, I
Wow.
I like the idea of goals and score being different. Like we scored, but or maybe it's
But
like a
it didn't
VAR situation.
count.
Maybe it's a VAR situation. Goals, but the ones that actually counted. That's funny.
Oh man.
I do want to comment briefly on the fact that I'm still hurt that New Mexico, despite having like, for my money, the far inferior kit supplier in Puma,
Mm-hmm.
got a yellow and light blue kit before Locomotive did.
More finished.
It's so crazy. Like,
Puma has actually done good work for New Mexico United, which is
yeah,
hilarious, but all right.
they haven't for anybody else. Like all the other
No.
teams ditched them immediately because they were mailing it in. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Trevisani's got the hookup at Puma, I guess. I don't know. He's getting
Really
PT stands for preferential treatment. So yeah. No, it does seem like, I mean, the thing is, like, we rag on United a lot, and they do have their shit together in many ways. Like, they obviously have put a good product together to be able to draw like they do week in and week out. So
which hurts to
yeah,
admit.
yeah. And I mean, Trevisani, it does seem like, in terms of like thinking big picture and stuff like that, he's definitely not like one of those USL owners who like, signs the checks or whatever. He's pretty involved, and yeah, so credit where it's due, I guess, but I'm still pissed that they got a yellow and light blue kit before us. That's just so crazy. Given the badge of our club that is, very prominently yellow and light blue and dark blue, and yet playing in all whites tonight. So, which I will say, the white versus black, I'm okay. I'm okay with, especially on a night where we're challenged with camera work.
Remember the BLK Blancos? Those were like kind of like a cult classic. Saglotto.
Saglotto, Monslaves.
Oh man.
But enough of that'll be the last positive thing you hear about New Mexico United tonight, just to be super clear. We're back on the slander. So hopefully we don't have anything good to talk about on the pitch.
Mika, talk some shit about one of our players, please.
Well, she's been on Dolenmeyer, but yeah, Justin Dillon.
Yeah, Dylan. I mean, for real though, Dylan. I think he needs to get more involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amando's been trying his hardest, but just needs something to go in. I would take a draw. Like, this is how down bad we are.
Yeah, I would say too, just like decision making in the final third. Her
name is Heather Deich.
Any relation to Sean?
That's crazy.
She's in the mic like, I think we should have like a really great game plan for this. Like she just has like a Sean Deich voice. I'm not actually making fun of Heather, by the way. I don't know if anyone.
Fun of Sean.
I'm making fun of Sean. Yeah, Sean Deich. For anyone who's never heard him in a press conference, he is absolutely lost. Whatever vocal cords he had at one point in his life they're gone. And we are underway here in the second half. Are you guys kicked underway off?
Yeah.
So second half, New Mexico United with the lead. So Locomotive looking to dig themselves out of a hole here early in the second half. But it's New Mexico who's on the attack, and the offside flag was up there. So Locomotive getting things started. Long ball over the top, and actually initially misjudged and then drilled in the cross. I don't know. I think Navarez could have let that run and maybe we would have gotten a corner out of it.
Yeah, that seemed like an odd decision to...
Trying to link up on the right-hand side. Dylan out there pressing. And then foul given. New Mexico tried to take it quickly from like not even close to the right place.
Galeto, yeah.
It's Hernandez who was fouled. I didn't see a whole lot in this from Liam, I think it was, who made the initial challenge. But then again, I mean, I'm not a reliable narrator because I can't see what's happening.
And I hate the other guys.
And I hate this team. Yeah, like I have a deep, deep disdain for.
Man, I would love to score in front of their fans right now.
That would be lovely. And I would say, despite the fact that we have looked vulnerable at times, like, I do think with the amount of chances we created in the first half, like this is one of those games that could wildly swing one way or the other. Like it's really, there's not a ton in it.
Right.
Like it's going to hinge on who makes a mistake and Dylan here into the area lays it off. But Alfaro chips in the cross, but again, just sort of like caught in two minds. Like he's just sort of putting it into an area, but no one's actually in that area. Like not really aiming across at anyone.
I'd rather like try some cutbacks like on the ground.
Yeah.
But
trying to think. Since Diego Luna departed Locomotive, have we had a player who reliably cuts the ball back? Like he was basically that dude who would get to the byline and cut it back.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone like consistent.
Yeah. Gomez sometimes. Just that work rate. We'll run forward by Alfaro, but Stauffer not able to keep possession. The press is definitely on. Like they're pressing really high right now. So I'm kind of wishing that we were getting more out of it though. Or that it was feeling more effective.
And I feel like if we don't score in the first 10 minutes, then we're in trouble. I think the key is to get back in it quick here.
Yeah.
I think they made Brian change his jacket at halftime. Did you notice he was wearing an Adidas jacket in the first?
They're like, yo, we have a contract.
Like dog, Hummel called. They are not happy. It's like
he's like, this is what I was wearing the last time we won a game.
He's like, I'm trying to switch it out, trying to switch up the juju. Long throw from Stauffer. And we'll get another go at it. Stauffer looking to deliver one in towards Dylan. Head back towards the edge of the area. Yeah, they're playing through the press like sort of easy. Well, actually, I say that, and Zico Bailey Akale gives it away. Sorry. Stauffer out on the left-hand side. Feathered the
Okay.
ball through for Moreno and earns a corner in front of the curse. So that was a nice little put a little English on the cue ball there. Stauffer taking the corner.
Yo, people are bundled up. Now that the sun's down, let's check the weather, shall we? Weather update from Mika.
Stauffer in towards the center, and Tabakis able to punch that one away, sort of. But now New Mexico are going to break, and then Alfaro, he's going to get booked for that. Brings down Akale. the weather update from Mika. So Mika's weather update. How are we feeling?
So it's 45 degrees, but the real feel is 33.
Yo.
20-mile-per-hour winds.
Oof.
So that's cold.
That is real cold.
It's April. Come on.
It was cold here today too, but not like that bad.
Yeah.
Alfaro commits a foul there,
Oh
and
my
he's got to be
God.
careful. He's got to be real careful.
Not with the Yuma behind
Yeah,
the back.
it was
Yeah.
like
hands.
hands behind the back.
He's got to be real careful because he just got booked, and refs love when a player who just got booked commits another foul because they get to send him off.
Yeah, that's cynical there for
That's
Tony.
dumb. Yep.
Yeah.
Why'd the ref like square up to him like that?
That's how he. This ref, like, as soon as I saw the name, I'm like, I know exactly who that is. Like when I saw the ref assignments, which I have actually started checking more and looking back through our history.
I do that for fun. Hair jealousy.
Why did they just show Nevada's getting a card again? That would mean he's sent off.
Yeah. No, the graphics
Did,
team is in hell.
Did Tony get a card?
Tony got booked, yeah.
Okay.
For the first challenge on Akale, not for this last one.
That last one was like a warning.
He got another, like, a talking to.
Oh boy.
And New Mexico working their way down the field. Couple of cards in defense now for Locomotive. And like you said, Christian, I mean, you said the opening 10 minutes would be important, and it is, like, as they're just able to feather this ball away. But as we're kind of hitting that 10-minute mark, the intensity is just dropping off a little bit for Locomotive. And you have to think that they sort of got sent out with the mandate of, like, trying to equalize inside 10 or 15.
They did not look good trying.
Yeah, basically, what, 2 crosses, one of which was blocked for a corner and one which went to nobody. So Tony's got to be careful again. Down in that corner, I'm like,
Give up the ball.
yeah. Eric just, I mean, essentially carried it out for a New Mexico throw. Someone scooped down the line. That was a veteran move from Alfaro with the backs the player down and realizes it's not going to go out for a goal kick, so he just kind of throws himself to the floor.
Like
Do what you got to do.
Watching a ball creep down the third base line, just waiting for it to roll foul, and it never does.
Yeah.
Decent switch.
Yeah. Sulovic wanted a little bit too much, but earns a throw. I think I would. I know I said it at halftime, sort of speculatively, but I think I do want the Rivas for Basilovic change now. Like,
Yeah.
just because we're not connecting things particularly well in midfield anyway, so it's like,
Might as well add a winger.
might as well stop pretending like we are.
A 5-5 lineup.
I mean, essentially,
Remember when PSG played a 4-2-4
Yes.
when they had
They're like, we have to find a way to get Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe all on the pitch at the same time. And
it
they're
was
like,
Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, Di Maria.
oh yeah.
And it was like what's his name? Verratti just like praying
Vibing.
to God in the midfield.
Just praying. And then Lille won the title. So
Yeah.
that is so crazy. Like, it just, I mean, it goes to show you that, like,
I think was that Thomas Tuchel's PSG?
I
thought it was. Well,
yeah. And he must have been doing it. He was doing it under duress. The Qatari state was like, find a way to. Oh, was it Pochettino?
Oh, might have been Poch.
Yeah, good shout. Good shout. Good comms in the chat. As New Mexico earn a corner, it looks like
Thomas Tuchel is giving fraud though. I'm not gonna lie.
Big fraud. It's actually crazy. I can't believe. Actually, you know what? I wanted to say this on Twitter, but I think people would take it the wrong way. Like, honestly, like, it's, for me, it's fuck Bayern Munich for not keeping the title competitive in the year that Bayern are like, Leverkusen are going to beat them to the title, and they're sort of like conceding, and it takes some of the.
It's like, yeah, you won it, but you won it in the year that Bayern was shit. Like,
yeah. It takes like it, as New Mexico are putting something together here, and puts it behind.
Save.
I think it was like a half cross, half shot, but yeah, like, Bayern not keeping it at least close, like the fact that Leverkusen's going to win the title in April, everyone's going to look back and be like, yeah, it's a one-off, like Bayern were garbage, and like the Bundesliga is still shit or whatever, even though Xabi Alonso is putting together one of, like you said in the group chat today, Mika, like one of the best club seasons ever.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't lost a game in any competition.
This Herbert guy is trouble, by the way.
He is, yeah, he's a menace. I was praying. I found myself praying. Ill-timed replay from the production team. But yeah, the jump on Herbert, that is actually crazy.
That's an insane.
Because he's already very tall.
Ronaldo versus Sampdoria type shit.
the salmon-esque leap. Truly. That man is migrating north. Or upstream or whatever. Yeah,
so Colorado are winless, right?
They are winless.
Pointless, is that right?
Yeah,
I would argue that they are.
They also have no points,
and they have no points. Yeah,
and they have no points. Okay.
No, it's really crazy that they went and signed Ronaldo Damas, but didn't do anything to build like a functional team around him.
Yeah, I was concerned when they made that signing.
Oh, we both went to highlight this comment. Yeah, no, it's hard out here for a Loco. New Mexico playing it around, looking for a 1-2. Luckily, Alfaro able to get there. Did they give a foul? I think Alfaro's. I don't think that was a foul, but I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, right now, change is needed in some way, because like the whatever, like whatever positives about the first half, like they've just like whittled away. Like there's not the same.
Well, it's the hour mark, so I expect we'll see that soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I want to see Rivas at this point, just to give us a different dimension, see what he can do.
Yep.
I mean, it's getting to the point where the New Mexico commentators are just being like, what's the word? I can't think of the word.
They're just
Like complimentary, but like
uh,
looking down on us.
like yeah,
It's
they're
like,
really trying hard.
yeah, exactly. Patronizing. There we go. That's the word.
Yeah. Calvillo caught on the ball and wait quick
Oof.
off his line to
That
take
was
it
the
off the
wrong
toe.
decision by
Yeah.
the
He went for like the
Smith.
Hollywood pass
Yeah, instead of, I think, who was it in the half space there that was wide open?
on his left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Condescending, yeah, that one too.
Yeah. Alfaro to Stoffer. It does find its way to Moreno, who pokes it through for Dylan. Dylan does well to turn.
That is a good turn.
Navarre's just had like an aneurysm in the box.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what he was doing there.
He just like hit the hard reset.
Frustrating, man. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. Controller came unplugged. He basically has to hit it first time, right? Like that's the when you get that layoff from the striker, like you take a shot. That's
Yeah. And Dylan did so well to create that angle for him.
yeah.
Oh, that's trouble. Oh.
Well done from Jamali. And Bolu gets caught, but gets a little bit of slice of luck. There is space opening up on this right-hand side. Now he shoots. Now he shoots?
Now he shoots from 35 yards.
Sir.
Really? We are not serious. We're just
We are not serious. New Mexico have dropped quite a bit, which is interesting. Like, but I guess they probably back themselves to not like giving up like big chances, I guess. Like, but we are still finding some decent space, and that's where you almost do think like if it's Basulovic taking that space right now, like why not just have Rivas?
right.
Unless he's just not fit enough to play half an hour. Dolmeyer is really like playing it fast and loose with like the rules of the game. Like
out muscle everyone, but
He's
like
just
right
yeah.
on the edge.
Yeah, he's just really sort of bull in a china shop right now. Takes a lot of kinetic energy to move that frame around, so yeah, there's nothing in that, but does he headbutt? He definitely doesn't mean to, but he may actually catch him.
Nick Hines. Is this a moment of redemption for him after getting hooked in the first half in Vegas?
So Moshabane on for Basulovic, which is essentially, I mean, a like for like, given how we've seen Moshabane, unless he is used up top, like, which he could be, I guess. And then Nick Hines, I would assume, came in for Navarez as a yellow card avoidance, and moving Stauffer out to the right. I'd assume.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually see who came off, so this ball breaks. Well done by Dylan again. Feathered through Stauffer for Dylan.
Oh my God, that's it right there.
That's the second big miss for Dylan today. That's a second big miss for Dylan. It bobbles right before it gets to him, and I'm thinking that might be the mitigation here, but he
man.
he simply must score.
Is that a half volley that he's almost trying? That's kind of
Yeah.
Not great value, Lucho. That is crazy.
Oh, that stings.
Great value, sir. That hurts to not score that, obviously, for a number of reasons. But the biggest one is like, we kind of shouldn't be in this, and we are. So, like,
that was such a good move, too. Like, a good team move.
I love them appealing for a throw in on the far side as if it's possible to tell.
Right.
It's very funny to me. Like, players appealing. I would just appeal for a throw every single time they got close. I'd just be like, yeah, that's out. Just test if the linesman can even see where the field is.
They're paying attention. Yeah.
The linesman's running the line and just ends up on the wing. Like, he's just like not off the field anymore. Like, just inadvertently.
That ref sprints so hard every time. It's hilarious.
Vegas and San Antonio have just kicked off.
In San Antonio?
They are in Vegas.
Oh, they're in Vegas. Okay.
Noah getting done down the right-hand side again. And now Hernandez past Rose. Cut back for Akale. That was odd. Akale was like almost looked like he started to fall, like anticipating contact.
It is not a handball. It hit him right in the fucking diaphragm.
Yeah. In the what's the
solar plexus?
Yeah. There's something else that it's called. That's something weird.
Xiphoid process.
Process. I'd never heard it called that until like a couple of years ago. I was like,
well, the xiphoid process is actually like the bone at the very like end of the rib cage, I think.
It's crazy to have a bone called a process. That's really wild. Like, English is crazy.
Trust the process.
Yeah. The xiphoid process also sounds like a death metal record.
It does.
Or a death metal band.
A band.
Yeah. The xiphoid process, and with their new track,
solar plexus.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like progressive death metal. They have 16 members.
And
all
like
of whom
of them are drummers.
Yeah, and all of them are in full costume for the entirety of their sets. They wear suits of plate armor. Got an attack going again. Calvillo with the late run in, but it's cleared away before he can get on the end of it. Liam headed it back in to the mixer, but no one was able to do anything with that. But we are getting forward again, which is something. Of the xiphoid process. Yeah. Incidental dismemberment. Traumatic brain injury and shock and awe, like with 14 W's. It was a critique of the Iraq War.
Oh, guys, the stream is giving Open Cup vibes. Is that where we're at right now?
I'm starting to think, so Rivas needs to come on ASAP. I'm starting to think he isn't actually fit. And he's making up the numbers tonight. Because I think he'd be on already if he was fit.
Yeah, the Academy kids had a book report due. They couldn't make the trip.
Diego Abarca had to write about To Kill a Mockingbird.
I was gonna say Catcher in the Rye.
Man, that was so good. I unplugged my headphones.
Oh my God, we need a miracle.
Yeah, that Dylan,
You know,
that Dylan chance is really gonna stick in my craw.
standards are in hell, but I will say I thought we might be at risk of like a battering tonight, and it has not been that. But we've also just not been quality enough in the final third.
Yeah, I think at once I feel definitely better about how things have gone as Calvillo. Calvillo does this, and I'm saying this on the live so that it doesn't. Oh, and now they're through. Dolenmeyer in a foot race. Well done, Noah. Good recovery.
Well done by Noah. Yeah.
Good
enough.
recovery there as they were in. What I was gonna say, Eric does this where he declines to run into space. Like often. He often makes like sort of the early pass.
Yeah.
And there are times where I'm just like, man, just let it develop a little bit and like eat that space up. And
Right.
see what sort of space develops in front of you. But he really sometimes tries to spot that like big, like multi-line breaking pass, and it, sometimes I get like, there's a time and place, but corner comes in, pinball in the box, eventually foul given as the videographer gets.
Nicoletto just absolutely leathering it at the.
That sucks too, because she was unsighted. I will say, like she got it came through a crowd, and it wasn't until the last second that she got it. It looked like it hit her right in the hands. It'll be a painful one on a cold night. Dylan unable to get on the end of the flick. Yep. Akinyode. Going long into the space. Stauffer's going to chase this one, but Stauffer's giving him the thumbs up. I'd be like, don't do that. Like they're dropping deep. Like I don't think we're gaining anything if we hit these like long, like a switch could be useful, but man, we are getting caught out by these.
That's a professional
Liam's
foul
gonna get
right there.
Yeah, Liam's getting booked. We're getting caught out by these like flicks. That's the second time that a guy's like almost been through on goal after one pass upfield.
Yeah, he pulls him down. He's got to do it too.
Yeah.
No choice.
Yeah, he would have been 1-on-1 with Alfaro, which obviously not a great place to be. New Mexico trying to put something together. If I'm remembering,
it's only his second yellow this year.
Okay, and if I'm remembering correctly, USL switched to isn't it 8 yellows for accumulation now, or something ridiculous like that? Like I think it's a lot more than it used to be. Like I think they went from 5, like every 5th yellow, to I think it's 8.
That sounds right. They probably feel like rosters aren't big enough to
Yeah.
handle 5 yellow card accumulation.
Jamali Waite makes a save.
Oof, what a save it was.
That was some
Stauffer
David
trying
De
to
Gea type shit with the
with the
foot
feet.
save.
Yeah, yeah. Micheletto went for the reverse ball.
I thought he was going to go for a pop.
I thought so too. Cross comes in, diving intervention there by Akinyode, and then Waite comes out to punch decisively. This is it's been pretty easy for New Mexico, I guess, would be my concern. Like since the Dillon chance, we just haven't really unsettled them.
Right. Man, Micheletto just absolutely runs midfield.
Yeah. Wade is good at making his decision making on like when he comes off his line. I would say is like a real strength.
Absolutely.
Because he's not always like roaming around. Like Benny was, he was just sort of by default like off his line. Wade definitely like picks and chooses, and it always feels like he gets it right. Oh, it looks like Rivas is being readied actually for the final 15 or 15 and or whatever's added on. I'm interested to see who he comes on for because I think we have this weird thing where it might in theory make sense to like bring off one of Dillon or Moreno, and at the same time like I don't necessarily want either of them off because they are at the end of the day the most likely to score. Dolenmeyer.
Oh, we're going for it.
So they'll switch to a back four. I'm assuming they drop Moshabane into midfield. Or we're just playing like a 5-2-0 or whatever. Like, I don't like 10-2-0.
How the hell does Zacharias come off when he wasn't on?
And Eder Borelli came on for Zacharias. That's crazy.
What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Debut goal for Joaquin. What are we thinking?
I mean, someone's got to score it, right? Someone's got to make their debut goal.
It's Carijo vibes. Impact off the bench. I don't know. It just feels like we're kind of petering out, which we have a way of doing. I feel like didn't used to be the case, but there was a time. There was a time back in the day where I remember having an almost like unhealthy belief when we got to late stages of games that we were either drawing or losing that we would find the goal.
Yeah.
But they repaid that faith so often that I was like, must be something to it. Moshabane on the edge of the area. Again, it's just like
that infield is killing us.
Yeah, that too.
Because Dillon does really well to hold it up and find the pass, but
and then Toomey can't get it out of his feet.
Yeah.
Liam down the left. all over the top. No flag. Dylan. He's got to cut back to Moreno if he can find him. Dylan into the area. Cut back. Who is it? It's Joaquin Rivas. Oh, and we lose Mika right at the critical moment.
Oh no! and I ended up seconds behind too, so that's why I wasn't reacting at the same time as you.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Joaquin Rivas with basically his first touch for El Paso Locomotive
You gotta love it.
gets them the equalizer, and wow, what great work from Justin Dillon down the byline to create that. And obviously Rivas under pressure, he basically hasn't touched the ball, coming cold off the bench, scores with his first touch. Absolutely amazing. And the ear, cup the ear, and then shushing the curse. I mean, instant legend. Absolutely unbelievable.
All right, well. That's the first step to the comeback. So do you keep the tempo the same? Do you step on the gas? Do you park the bus now? What do you think?
I don't know. I think we have no choice but to go for it because of the personnel we have on the field. Like I don't know that we can afford to sit back basically. But Mika, I can't believe we lost you right at that critical moment.
I literally missed the fucking goal. Like my computer just was like, nah, bitch.
That's crazy.
You will not be happy today.
You will not be happy today.
Damn, I'm gonna have to watch the replay. So it was Rivas?
It's absolutely crazy that Rivas scored with his first touch. Like that's insane.
I mean, chat was calling for it. You were calling for it.
Manifestation is real. We manifested the goal.
Oh, thank God. Now just don't do anything stupid.
Don't let chat lie to you. It was a good goal, but it was not. He did not do anything insane. Just to be super clear, like Mika, I won't let them do you like that.
I said it was a scissor kick.
It was a fine goal. It was not. It was not like. But I mean, now it's like it does put you in that moment. Like we could go on and win this, like, or we could lose, and that's like, like that's.
What are they saying, Ted Lasso? It's the belief that kills you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm hunting on the interwebs for this goal. I'm so mad. All right, USL Championship just posted it. Here we go.
It's the hope that kills you.
Dylan does work with an E.
Ooh, yeah, he does his man right there. What a goal.
Yeah. And Rivas, I mean, like making that run because Moreno.
Ooh, shushing the curse.
Yeah. Instant legend. Scoring the equalizer against United.
It's a penalty. Are you serious?
What? Oh, are you ahead of us now? We got Toomey into the box. We got Dylan on the edge of the area. He gets caught. It's a penalty. I can't believe this.
This is insane.
Oof.
Oh,
yeah,
my
Mika's
God.
ahead of us now, though.
Who's gonna take it?
Who is gonna take it?
Oh, Moreno, please.
It's a definite pen by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
there's no question.
Stonewall. Like, I can't believe they're even having an
Ooh, that
argument
is,
about
yeah,
this.
Zico.
He
Zico
catches him.
Bailey.
He catches his foot like clean.
It does look like it's going to be Moreno, by the way.
Oh my god. Yeah, he just sticks a foot in and catches him.
Moreno. Oh my god. I'm shitting myself.
I don't even want to watch. Oh my god.
I can't believe Moreno's taking the fucking pen. What the fuck?
This guy's a psycho.
This is horrible. Cold as ice.
Ooh, kill it.
Oh, and he's pointing. Calvillo's giving it the big 1-2 to the curse. Oh my god.
I saved my reaction since I'm ahead of y'all, but oh my god, what the hell is going on? This is a derby for real.
This is a proper derby. 2-1 Locomotive lead. And from the 80th minute where we're basically, I mean, we joke all the time about being on that journey of the we're so finished, we're so back. But like, holy moly, if this game has not been that graph, like in a microcosm. I gotta love the referee is such a shithouse. Like is he Joe West? Like of the Joe West of USL, like the emphatic point, like to the penalty spot.
Yo, Albuquerque is stunned right now.
Wow.
We just got to be serious for like the next like 10 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
because they're gonna add on.
please.
They're gonna
It's
add
be
on a
stupid amount of time.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you absolutely. The only way that I'm comfortable is if we get a third. Like that's the. How far ahead of us are you, Mika? About 10 seconds, 15 seconds?
I'm at 88.07.
Oh, she's
Okay,
like
yeah.
15 seconds ahead of
So
me.
yeah, I'm at 88 right now.
Yeah, same, Phil. Oh, they've brought on Daniel Bruce.
Oh, ball forward.
Well,
God damn it.
2-2. Jacobo Reyes, man, for an equalizer at home, he's really milking this celebration wise. Just saying. Don't you normally, you do the like, you go run for the ball, like and some of it's performative, whatever, but like, hopeful ball forward, hands up for offside. Who knows? We'll never be able to tell if he was off. A lot of appeals.
Yeah, that looked offside, but okay. God damn, what the hell is going on?
Well, 2-2. I hesitate to even say that that's the end of the story here. Like, it just doesn't feel like. Oh, and now Moreno. Offside flag. Oh, man.
7 minutes of stoppage time.
Holy cow. You even said all we had to do was be serious for however long, and we weren't.
They keep saying
Good
Kings and
intervention.
Chaos. Oh my god,
I know.
kill me.
I know. Duke, we love you so much, but you really hurt us with that one because they just took that and ran.
Yeah. I muted the The commentary. I can't fucking do it. I can't do it.
Moreno forward. Rose into the box? Question mark. He kept that in. Bruce going forward. Hernandez. Fuck my life.
Oh my god.
So y'all saw it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. And it's just like it's just so simple. Like
they're doing nothing special at all.
Man. We just switched up. Like we thought game like we basically called game
we
at the penalty.
Enough.
We call game at the penalty, and it's like they continued to play like after that, which like how dare they, honestly.
The audacity. Dog, I can't.
Yeah, I gotta mute the commentary too. I can't do it. I can't.
By fucking Edgar, are you kidding me?
The mentality of this team is in hell. Because how do you allow that? I'm
And then you
thank-
make it, and then
Thank
they're gonna
God we're
make
bringing on these subs now.
right, and then we're gonna make a double sub and fucking. That's crazy. That's crazy. Would you not have made those like if you're planning, so you make them immediately after the goal, right?
Yeah, why would you do it in like
Why would
I
you
don't
do
know.
it in stoppage time when you're losing?
When you're down,
wasting
yep.
more time when you're losing. Like I don't.
It's
The
really crazy.
decisions from this coaching staff are, yeah, really losing patience.
Yeah. And yeah, the mentality really is like because the thing, and oh man, I know hindsight's 2020 and stuff, but there's basically
Pretty cynical challenge from Bruce there.
on Akinyota, yeah. Gee, that could be red on a different day. That's crazy. I think there's a moment there where Eric has like an obligation to be that guy, like in the huddle or whatever, like during the celebration of the penalty. Like Eric has an obligation at that point to be like, all right, and like everybody lock the fuck in because there's still a lot of time left.
Right.
And I think it's clear that like the whole team just completely switched off. It's really crazy.
Like we got to 2-1 and we're like, oh, you think you ate.
Exactly. To throw away that comeback, like to throw away a lead in stoppage time and not just throw it away in terms of like, a point. Because let's face it, a point on the road in Albuquerque is fine. But to lose 3 points and then also lose that point is just like completely unacceptable.
It's a joke.
On 2 consecutive attacks, essentially. Like they got forward 2 times and scored both times. Justin Dillon must be fucking sick right now. Like
he did all the hard work.
He did everything. Like,
oh my god.
The last 10 minutes, he basically put the team on his back. And
hold on, these comments back to back are they got me dead as fuck. Hold on, this one, and then this one. They don't talk about football. We don't fucking play football either. To be fair.
I mean, yeah. What would we be talking about? Oh my god, that's funny. Oh my god, we literally behaved serious for like 4 minutes. Like between the first goal and the second goal, we were behaving seriously.
It's just embarrassing. This will be a discussion for full time for sure. I'm not going to ignore this question.
Yeah. There is still a minute, but I mean, basically regardless of whether there's a twist in the tale, like that discussion like does need to be had. Joaquin Rivas scored on his debut with his first touch for Locomotive, and we're not even going to be able to talk about it like in a good way. Like we're not even going to get to celebrate it like in the way that we should. Oh man.
Man, we felt like the entire range of human emotion in like the last 10 minutes.
It is. It literally is that graph. Like, oh man. And here comes the final whistle. Unless he's allowing, like, I guess he should allow a little bit more time given that there was 2 goals in stoppage time.
That was a terrible crowd.
Yeah, that was horrible. That's game essentially. They still going? Okay, we play on. The spice must flow.
Handball?
The ref is like, I just want to see what happens. Like, I'm not blowing the final whistle. Like, I just want. He's like, I'm invested now. We're playing extra time.
Get out, give us a corner. Oh.
Long throw. Stauffer put it in the mixer. Get some Rory DeLapp action on this one.
Just bring Jamali up too. I mean, why the
Seriously.
fuck not?
Throw into the box. And that is that. That's, man, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Why do we keep doing this to ourselves, guys?
I'm gonna say it's got to be, I mean, you almost see it, right? Like the togetherness from New Mexico. And I get it, like when you're winning, it's easier to be like a team. And at the same time, like Micheletto at the final whistle, like straight over to the coach. It's just like, obvious that they, I mean, I think the big takeaway, unfortunately, from this is that one team played until the final whistle, and one thought they had won it 4 minutes from the end of regular time.
I think the mentality is embarrassing, to be honest. I mean, these are all seasoned professionals, and that was just Sunday League, thinking that it's over at that point against a rival who are good at home, who have a lot of threatening players. I mean, just not good enough. It's not good enough. 2 weeks off rest. Players are back from international duty. Players are back from injury. Not all, but some. What excuses are left?
Spin the wheel. It's I don't know. It's funny because we were talking right before the goals. We were basically talking about like how, you know, I was referring to the fact that like in the Lowry era, especially like those last 2 seasons, or his second and third season, I guess I should say, in those seasons, like we had this sort of like almost like sicko mentality of we always seem to find like a route, you know, in late in games. And obviously, I know we didn't win every single game, although we did sort of do, or when we were like one of the best teams in the league, I think we lost like 3 times or something like that. So, so we did find a way, you know, more often than not. And you could see the outlines of that in getting back into the game. But when you sort of like look at both of those moments, it is again like Dylan, like individual effort, brilliance, like, and then on the penalty as well, like Dylan's quality, but not necessarily like, it's not necessarily like from, you know, the way that we set up or the way that we, you know.
Yeah,
But
it's 11 individuals.
Yeah.
Jamali Waite has been individually very good.
Yeah.
Lucas Stauffer has been individually good. Dylan's been individually good. Like,
yeah.
we're not greater than the sum of our parts.
No, I mean,
and I think that's on the coaching staff.
Yeah. Well, I'd say I'd go so far as to say, like, I don't think we're not only we're not greater than the sum of our parts, like we're far less than the sum of our parts. Because some of the, like, we've seen what these guys can do and
on paper it was a very good transfer window. We praised it. I mean, the recruiting was good. So if the recruiting's good, the players are good, and they're not performing together as a team, then who do we look at? I mean, obviously you look at who's training them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a collapse. I mean, there's really no other way to frame it. It is to go from looking like you're gonna like sort of peter out to a 1-0 loss, to then pulling it back to 1-1, to pulling it back to 2-1 with 4 minutes of regular time to go. There's just no excuse for not being able to see out the to the end of the game. Because I mean, at that point, and I mean, we talked about the fact that like personnel wise, we probably didn't have like defensively like what we would want in those moments, and he makes those subs after we've already conceded the third goal.
Right.
So like if he recognized, hey, we don't really have like the right people, we have the right people on the field to chase a lead, not to hold a lead, then you either have to make the decision to make those substitutions earlier, like right after, and you've got the benefit of a penalty where from a coach's perspective, like you can you have basically more built-in time because a penalty's been awarded, and it's not happening like in the flow of the game. Like the game has been stopped to take a penalty, right? So like you have the time to say to the coaching staff, like, hey, I think we're light, like defensively, let's get Jeremy up, let's make the change as long as he makes it, like as long as he sinks the pen, like let's make the change. But we don't make it until
10 minutes later.
10 minutes later, yeah, after we've already conceded twice. So I think like
well, your form is turning around in the pick'em, Phil.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck. I should have locked it. That is
I know you fucking lying, Jake.
I think so. I mean, unfortunately, Chris, like the world may never know because there's no camera angle that captures like.
I don't think the players even believe it was offside because we've seen much harder protests for much more obvious decisions.
That if you want to see a protest of a potentially offside goal, Louisville's fourth, I think, against Indy today.
There were so many.
Like, I thought the goalkeeper was going to get in a fist fight with the assistant. Like I was like, CBS does not know what they signed up for. But yeah, so, well, shit. And then
unbelievable.
And then for her, is it the formation? Like, is it the formation or that we're using and like it not bringing out the strength of the players? I think shape is like, and we've talked about it a little bit. It's like shape is like the foundation, right? For like how you establish patterns on the field. It's not really like, it's a fluid game. Like positions change naturally, like throughout the game. They're not like set in stone. So I think like the formation is only important in so much as like the patterns on the field like don't make as much sense, which suggests that there is a problem with how we're setting up specifically or how we're instructing players to move into different spaces and stuff. Because there is still that disconnect between like us and New Mexico essentially got into the same game where we were just playing it down the flanks and then so were they. And we just kind of both were hitting it into the same spaces on opposite sides. So yeah, I think this shape is like less of the issue more, and it's more so like, hey, the whole attacking wingback thing like just leaves us extremely vulnerable, and I don't know that we actually have the center backs to be able to play like that because they have to be able to defend one-on-one. And I mean, if the plan is like what always has to be Brandon Craig and Alfaro, then you can see how that plan like gets undone quite quickly when Brandon Craig, does his ankle against Louisville. So it's like, if it has to be specific people on the team, then it's not a good plan, unfortunately, because everybody's got to be able to do it. So,
yeah, just again, I'm repeating myself, but it just feels like we're watching 11 individuals.
Yeah.
And we kind of have opined on why that might be early in the season when we're like, they literally don't know each other really well. There's been so much turnover, but at this point, you would think we'd see some more established patterns, and we haven't really. And
yeah,
I mean, to me, that's a coaching question.
Yeah. I think you can see too in that moment at the final whistle, there's like everybody sort of scattered all over the field, and no one was like, I don't know. Like, I know this is like sort of surface level stuff, and people will say like, that's for the cameras and shit like that. But I don't know. Like, I would want to see Eric and like at the final whistle there, like you'd want to see like people making the rounds and like picking guys up and like making sure that we're carrying some, like, I don't know, like, it just doesn't seem like the leadership is there. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I'm feeling like we're lacking, when obviously, like, we leaned really heavily on guys like Richie in the past, like, to have that mentality. But can you imagine? I mean, I don't know. I just, like, I can't even fathom something like this happening with guys like that in the team. It's hard to say, like, because shit happens, but, like, this sort of collapse just doesn't seem like it would have happened with some of the guys, because they just, like, demand more, and the mentality always seemed to be there.
Yeah.
This is the question, Mark. This is the question. I don't know. I like, at this point in the season, it's tough to say, like, you can't. They have to try to work through it. Like, you're not going to blow the whole project up 5 games into the season,
yep.
right? Like they've got to improve. But I think what you can comfortably say after losing 4 out of 5 and having 1 point from 5, like, is that if it doesn't improve in the first 10, like, then there have to be serious questions asked about the manager, because there's no way, like, how else do you make a significant impact?
You can't sack all the players, right?
Yeah.
So
they're signed, like,
yeah.
And nobody's available. Like, nobody's readily available. So you can't just go out and replace everybody.
Yeah.
And I would say that, given the track record of a lot of the players, like, I wouldn't want to get rid of many of the players. So, am I staying up for Suzuka? Absolutely not. The race starts at like 1 a.m. That's insane. I'll watch it in the morning. It's the Formula One. It's the Japanese Grand Prix, so it's happening, like, in the middle of the night. But yeah. See, that's what the mountain time zone is helping out here. On the next episode of the Kickback, what's Eric and Lincoln's favorite dishes after a soul crushing defeat? Chicken and waffles.
Vegemite, surely.
Vegemite. Vegemite on toast.
Because he wants to punish himself.
Oh man, I just want this team to start playing like a team and not like 11 mercenaries.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that's harsh, but
that's, I mean, yeah. And
that's all we've seen.
Yeah. This team, like, even in the Mark Lowry era, there were times where we were not good.
Oh, but for sure.
What you could never question was, like, the character and the commitment of that side.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is kind of eroded over the past couple seasons. It's just like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call it, esprit de corps. I don't know, but it's just different, right?
Yeah.
I think I said it on the podcast a couple weeks ago. So many big characters have left this club, and it's just left a vacuum, a void. Yeah. And I don't know that anyone that we've recruited. I think we've recruited a lot of good footballers, but I don't know if we've recruited necessarily big personalities.
Yeah.
Or leaders, you know?
Yeah.
Because someone's got to take this by the scruff of the neck and say it's not good enough.
Right. And I think it's interesting because I mentioned the Pittsburgh game, because they were in sort of a similar spot to us, and they get a very creditable draw against the Rowdies today. I think they talked in the broadcast about how Lilly didn't pull any punches, and they were talking about some of his comments midweek about training and how, like, we haven't even shown up yet for the season. Like, we haven't been good. Like, we haven't executed our plan. Like, we haven't, and just, he wasn't digging out anyone in particular, because, like, I know that coaches shouldn't go on there and say, like, yeah, my players are dog shit, and, like, anything like that. But you've got to, like, I think that was what was troubling this week. Was it was like, hey, we got to just keep doing what we're doing, was sort of the message out of like Locomotive's camp,
which is like delusion at
and that
best.
yeah, that's crazy. Like I
Yeah.
don't think you should look at a 1 point from 4 games and say like, we've just
more of that, please.
yeah, or like them's the breaks. It's like, holy shit, like that can't be. It's not like we went out and dominated every single game and like played people off the park and we're just unlucky. Like that's just not. It's just not what happened.
Yeah, that's not the reality.
It's like
no.
We've gotten outplayed 4 out of 5 matches.
Yeah. Monterey Bay, the one game that we got a point out of was actually one of our worst performances. Like, and that's where it's like we can't look back at this and say like, we've just been like a little unlucky. It's like we're a couple of minutes away from getting a win out of what was easily our worst performance of the season so far, where Monterey Bay had like 25 shots or something like that. But the fact that you can come into a derby match and say like, yeah, we've just like got to keep our heads down and like keep doing what we're doing, and it's like, I don't know. I worry that there's a reliance on certain metrics that tell a specific story, because
there's a lot of confirmation bias, I think, going on.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, is XG a useful tool? Is like, are there a lot of like advanced analytics that are like useful tools for understanding like whether something's working or not? Like, yeah, I do. And like trotting that out every week as like, well, yeah, we lost, but we won the XG, or we won, like, we took more shots, or we took more, like, it's like that only lasts so long. Like you can lean on the advanced analytics, but like if you're not winning games, like kind of doesn't matter, right? Like there's certain things you can chalk up to being unlucky, or like shit happens in games, and when there's just like repeated stuff. And we haven't even really connected the dots on like, and this is where I'm sort of processing this in real time, but we have to address the fact that like, I don't know exactly what happened again, and I will say that, but like in Phoenix last year, like Brian lost the locker room, or at least a portion of it, right? Mm-hmm. Like we had multiple players who never played again, or have not played again, like since then. 2 of whom are still on the team, but they like essentially there was like something happened where Lucho, Yuma, and Eder Borelli like did not play the rest of the season. Well, Yuma came on in like an emergency in Miami, but we never saw Lucho or Eder like take the field again. And so I think like there just has to be, I don't know, like that can't, it's not nothing, right? Like I'm not saying that it is like 100% his fault or whatever, but like it is something when you have like essentially a mutiny like on your hands midway through a season. And yeah, I just think there's got to be something underneath the surface here where like there just isn't that team's, you talk about the team spirit, like if there is that sort of conversation going on, or there is that sort of like lack of togetherness, then like you're never going to get to like big mentality, see out these games, see out these like big moments or whatever, because everybody is like sort of in a survival mode or whatever. So I know we're like deep diving the philosophy of like leadership and shit like that. This is now like an alpha male podcast, but so anyways, God, what the fuck, guys? Like what was that?
He's like, I would have preferred the 1-0.
Yeah. If I could go back to the 86th minute and just be like, I'm good, actually.
It's like we knew what we had at that point.
They are who we thought they were.
And now it's just worse.
Yeah. Wow.
But God forbid we say anything.
guys just try to tear the club down is all. That's the thing. Like,
Oh my god. Anyway.
Yeah. No, we've probably overstayed our welcome, but thank you guys for hanging around. It's been
Is anyone still here?
we're probably just shouting into the void. But no, thank you guys for watching. I don't have the adequate words to really close that out in a way that's like professional. So I'll just say that we'll take some time. We'll have to do an episode about this, obviously. I don't think there's any avoiding this one. And then we'll have to we'll chat again. The good news is that hope springs eternal, and Locomotive will play again.
And you'll be here for it, Phil.
And I will physically be in El Paso watching it, which will be kind of crazy. I'm like getting very excited to be back.
Back like you never left.
Remember to apply for your credential.
Yes, I'm going to send it in with a picture of me, a screenshot of me crying here.
Shall we wrap it up, boys? I think that's enough.
It sure is.
For the night.
It sure is. Thanks, everybody. Subscribe to the podcast and everything. But yeah, we'll break this down midweek, and we'll be back after the Roots game. But thanks, everybody. And until next time, stay loco.
See ya.
Later.